I'm Jeff Hoops. I am a partner with Ernst & Young. I've been here for almost 39 years. I am currently the firm's America's Ethics and Compliance Officer and Chief Privacy Officer. Prior to that, I spent more than 30 years in our tax practice. And I am retiring at the end of June. When I joined the Society more than 36 years ago, I did it for two selfish reasons. First of all, I wanted to be a better public speaker, and I figured that practicing in front of a bunch of CPAs would be safer than learning in front of my clients or my bosses. And then second, I had just gotten my CPA license, and I really wanted to explore the options of maybe striking out on my own or joining a smaller firm. Well, as it turns out, I'm still not sure I'm a great public speaker, and I never did leave Ernst & Young, but the friendships that I've made here have just been fantastic, and the professional colleagues with whom I've been associated are just really top drawer. Bob Israeloff, Mike Borsick, Stu Kessler, I mean, just to name a few, Alan Weiner. I mean, there are so many people who I really looked up to in this profession, who I thought were really first-class individuals, smart professionals, smart businessmen, and I really learned a lot from all of them and many more, really. During my time as president, we really spent a lot of time with legislators and regulators, particularly state legislators and regulators, educating them about what Sarbanes-Oxley was all about, and how we could be helpful and work together so that we could all serve the public in a better way. My wife Glenda and I were looking for a way to contribute something back. I had a client that was with this New York City public high school called the High School of Economics and Finance. They try to introduce business concepts to students. They try to get them internships. They invite business executives to come down and teach classes. And the school, by its charter, really has to accept a fair cross-section of kids from all of New York based on reading levels. Public education, especially in the inner cities, is really the key to a successful society, so it's nice to be a part, and my wife feels the same way, it's nice to be a part of some place where you can really feel like you're making a difference. It's really nice to have an organization recognize a contribution that I've made. I could never have accomplished what I've done professionally or personally without my bride, Glenda. And so if I could, I would really give this award to her because she deserves it just as much as I do and maybe more.
Hi, my name is Beth Van Bladel. I'm the Corporate Controller for EYP Architecture and Engineering, located in our corporate office in Albany, New York. So I began my career with Ernst & Young. The skills I use on a daily basis really started as a firm foundation for my experience at Ernst & Young. And then from there, I decided to strike some balance in my life and make the transition to industry. When we moved to Albany, I kind of did the Green Acres thing with my husband, John, and we got llamas and chickens. And I really enjoyed getting up in the morning and feeding the animals. I started Capital Region Patient Advocacy in 2008, basically a grassroots initiative, and it's dedicated to teaching healthcare advocacy and navigation skills to our community. And I have to tell you, every piece of my patient advocacy project is derived from my service to the State Society. When I moved to Albany, and I didn't know anybody up here, I started going to our Northeast chapter events. And it's a joke with Kevin McCoy and I. He was president at the time. And I remember showing up, and it was 1995, and I walked up to him and I said, "Kevin, okay, there's no women here. Everybody is like my dad's age, and nobody's talking to me." So he came back to me a month later and told me that the Suffolk County chapter had a young CPA committee, and how would I feel about starting a young CPA committee in Albany. And so with his help, we were able to recruit some young CPAs, and we started the committee. It's very hard when you're a CPA in industry not to be looked upon as the sheriff in town. There are times that people might feel that you're slowing a transaction down or you're putting a deal at risk. There are some people who don't appreciate when you point something out that maybe needs to be looked at and corrected. And so as a result of that, it's helpful to know that you can come to a support group or a CFO committee where you can share your experiences with one another. And then when you get to a point in your career where you're feeling more comfortable in your own shoes, then it's time to give back and to start offering yourself to others and to be that mentor. A time of introspection and learning about yourself is really, really going to help you manage the stress and also help you be successful in helping your team be successful.
I'm Cynthia Scarinci. I'm a professor of accounting here at the College of Staten Island. I was ecstatic when I heard that I won the award. I was shocked, but I was ecstatic. I've really enjoyed working with the State Society. I've learned so much through the people in the Society. I've been involved at the local level and on the state level. I'm on the board now also, and I've met a lot of great people. The morning that I found out that I won the award, it was pouring rain, and my umbrella had turned inside out, and I was dripping wet, and I saw that I had a flashing red light, that I had a message, and I said, oh, what does someone want from me now? And I looked at it, and I heard that I won the award, so that was a good thing. Originally, I had worked as an accounting systems analyst. I worked as an internal auditor. I worked in public accounting. So I've held a number of different jobs. I was very, very interested in accounting systems and IT, and I still am, disaster recovery, that kind of stuff. But I was working as a CPA, and a friend of mine, Gerard Laverty, had introduced me to the CPA Society. And I started speaking with people, and they were telling me that they were working and that they were also teaching at the same time. And I started teaching at St. John's as an adjunct, and I found that I really enjoyed it. And then I found through a few people that they were looking for someone at the College of Staten Island to teach as an adjunct as well, and to teach an accounting course and to teach auditing, which is something that I had done. So I came here and I started teaching, and then they said, well, you seem to enjoy it. How would you like to become a full-time professor and leave the other part of the accounting world behind? And I did. I think that everyone should take a course in accounting. I'm sure some people may disagree that are not accountants, but I think it's important to learn about the world of finances and the world of accounting and how things are recorded and why controls are important. So it was something that appealed to me from day one. I also always enjoyed the theory portion of accounting. So I think that also was a motivator in instructing other people about the theory behind accounting, not just the mechanics of what you do. And my students tease me all the time because I always tell them it's not what you're doing, why are you doing it? I try to get them involved, and I find that if the students become involved, they take more of an interest. So they always tease me and tell me that I'm trying to convert everyone to become accountants. Most of the business students here, actually all of the business students at the College of Staten Island, are required to take 2 entry-level accounting courses. So in that time period, I try to get them to see why accounting is not boring. It's also very people-oriented, and I talk to them about auditing. You know, this is a computer generation, and everyone's on their iPhones and everyone's texting, and not everyone has those interpersonal skills, and that's crucial. Again, I continue to be involved with the Society. I've met a lot of great people, not only here in Staten Island, but also on the state level. I think it's a great association, some great talented people, and I hope to continue to do so.
It really is a terrific honor. Found out, just a few weeks ago, I guess it was. And, you know, in my involvement with the Society and being able to attend some of the annual dinners I was very familiar with the award and knowing it's really the premier award in education in the CPA profession to me. So it really is very, very exciting. It's a very, very satisfying thing to see students learn from you and take that knowledge and put it out in the profession and come back and just see how they've done. And it's a very, very heartfelt experience teaching kids. Most people will practice, build a practice, and then say, gee, I'd like to teach. I was fortunate enough to say I had this teaching position and could build a practice around it. So I was able to build my practice one client at a time rather than have taken established practice and then say, let's teach. So mine was a little backwards, or I suppose forwards, if you're looking at it from my perspective, that it really, I really do feel that building a clientele in a number of different areas of accounting does make me a better teacher. And I remember way back when the intermediate accounting textbook was 400 or 500 pages. Now it's 1,200. How do you teach that in the same semester or in the same amount of time? And again, the body of knowledge, the rules, the regulations. Now we're into international accounting standards, possibly international accounting standards. Who knows what's going to happen there? But I think that's the biggest challenge at this point to people coming out in the profession. We have a very good central New York connection of a number of firms who are very active in the State Society. Gail Kinsella, our outgoing president, is with Tesno Marshall DeSenza. Tesno Marshall DeSenza, as well as Gail, as well as Dave Moynihan, guess where they all graduated from? Lemoyne. So we've been very active with the Society. I mean, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the State Society for the award. Again, I'm so honored. My mentor at Lemoyne, really the founder of Lemoyne's accounting program, Frank Fernandez, actually knew Manny Sachs, talked about what a wonderful person he was, what a great educator he was, and I remember being down here the year that Frank won the Sachs Award, and just how proud he was, and I mean, that just carries over to me. It's just a terrific opportunity for me. It's a highlight of my professional career, and it's all possible because of what the Society does.